Hi, thanks for checking out our channel here. This is going to be a test and repair video on a Gallagher. This is on an alleyway low bar. This particular scale is a W210. It's our scale that we use in-house here to test low bars when they come in for repair for both the Tru-Test and the Gallagher brand bars. So I'm going to go through this low bar here and get this thing figured out. I think it's going to be a simpler fix. I started making a video, but the dumb camera timed out, and I lost. I didn't get very far, about a minute into the video, and I lost it. But our repair website for low bars and cattle scales and livestock weigh scale stuff is cattlescalerepair.com. But we also work on electric fence equipment, different brands, about every brand you can think of. Fencerfixer.com is a website for that. All right, so this is my scale here that I use. Battery shot in this thing. It's like 10 years old, and the battery's been dead for a little while, but it needs a new battery. But I just hook my 12-volt supply up to it and run it that way. So what the scale does, when you first turn on, the bar's not plugged into it, so it shows dashes across the screen, which means it's not talking to anything. So when I plug this in, it's all the way in. It should go to 0.0 pounds or 0 pounds, and it's not, showing the dashes still on the screen. So what that tells me, as a technician working on these things, is that the scale is not detecting that the bar is plugged into it. Low bar cable's not plugged into it. It doesn't see it. And I know the scale is good because we use it all the time, and for testing these things, I know it's fine. So it's going to be inside this connector. Somewhere something wrong with it. So I pulled back the spring here, zip tied it off so that way, because when I cut this cable, this wasn't on here, this spring will just fly up real long, and it's a real pain in the neck to get it slid back down sometimes, how far up it goes. Because you can't pull these connectors apart, especially if they're a factory one on there, because they seal it up with epoxy and glue it together basically, and you'll never get them apart. Sometimes you can get these to pull off and reuse these caps, these little dust caps, but I can't get the thing pulled loose. So we're going to cut it right here flush. If you try to pull it apart, you'll break it. It's because it's just full of epoxy. So we're going to, at the moment, we're just going to put a new connector on temporarily, and we're going to try it again. We're going to plug it all back up, and we're going to see what happens. Because there may still be more issues inside the actual low bar itself, but I don't know yet. I don't want to take the low bar apart if I don't need to, because it's wasting time. Just extra things that you don't have to do. All right, because it's got two layers of insulation on it. It's a big, thick yellow outside piece, and there's a little bit thinner yellow piece in there. You have to cut a little way into. But you gotta be careful, because I didn't want to cut too deep and slip one of those wires on accident, and you start it all back over again. So let me get I got a vise here. I use it as kind of a third hand helper to help hold the new cable or the new connector. So we'll put this little vise here. We'll open it up. I'm gonna go find me a connector to put on to wire up. What are you looking for? Oh, that cord. Yep, that's the wrong one. It's for a female or male. Is this? That's not it either. What the hell is it? Let's see. Let me get that cord for you. resistor. Sure you don't have one over there, Dad?
I haven't looked at it.
Here's this. Well, I've got this one here. You could just plug onto the board versus stripping that thing back and just plug on the board to run it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Oh, I'll let you. I had those one little clip, alligator clips, so does it have you clipping onto the? I could strip the other one back and
Oh,
clip
it
onto
is.
it. This would be a lot easier.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. What was this? Not giving me a different book for this.
All right.
I think it's over there.
Now I need to get there's a resistor that's got to go inside that connector. That tells the scale what model of low bar is hooked up to it. I've done enough of these Gallagher bars over the years. I know by memory which resistor it takes and what the wiring is on the inside of the connector. Let's see. We'll slide that on first. Let's see. Okay, then this piece goes on next. And then we'll slide this on next. And I'm just going to kind of halfway tighten it up. Come on. And we'll take this connector and we'll put it which way one? Yep, like this. So we'll put it in like that. Okay, now we get this resistor. Cut the wires the length the way I do it here. Let's see. That there, and with the old little thing of solder here. All right, so now we're going to solder in this resistor. And we'll that. Now we're going to go back. I'm going to fill up, tin all these connections right here, because this is where our wires are going to go from our cord. Come on. Looks good, I think. take this, and then we're going to trim it back just a little bit, and we'll tin each one of these wires with solder. We'll twist up the stranded wire to make it more solid. My third hand helper here. Help hold these wires for me. Solder iron out, solder on here. I am going to come back and trim these up so it's not as much as exposed in the wire. Heat it up, solder them together. Turn that connector a little bit. Ow, God, it's hot. Get the wire pulled out from being tangled with the red one. Take that connector out. So look at it real quick, make sure we're look good. That looks good here to me. All right, let's get this out of the way. Before we tighten this all up here, we're going to plug it back into the scale. I just used the scale about a week and a half ago on a set of Tru-Test low bars, and I had to calibrate the scale to that bar, so our weights might be way off on this thing. But at least let's see if it at least says hello and goes to 0 pounds. So there's that. Oh look, it's on 0 pounds. So we've already made some headway. Let's pop the scale right there. I'm gonna step on the low bar. It should be about, if it needs to be calibrated, then we'll have to calibrate, but I weigh about 225, give or take a couple pounds. Shit, right on the money. Okay, so our low bar, it's fine. We'll do a couple more little tests on there. She goes back to 0. Okay, well, this low bar's done, basically, but what I always do before we call it done with these low bars is I want to put this connector all together. I've never epoxied them back together myself. I've done hundreds of these bars, both Tru-Test and Gallagher. And the reason why I don't, because if we ever have to go in here and do a repair on this for some reason, maybe a cord pulls out or something like that, Cal gets the leg around there, and go back in there, we can fix the connector versus having to cut it off and do the work all over again, replace it. So let me get hey, you get those 2 channel lock plier from yesterday? Huh? It should be a blue. Should be a blue one and a black one. Yeah. Oh, the tester. Here, you want this?
14.
Yeah. Alright, so that's good. Now we'll put this up there like that. I think we should just let it go. Probably be alright. Put his cord back on there and call it done. Alright, now let's plug this little bar back in, tighten her up, turn it back on to manual mode, make sure it shows 0, which it does. Okay, let's step on it. Should be the same way as it was before, 227-ish. Alright, this little bar's done. So they got 2 of them here, so we'll grab the other one and we'll make another video on it. But this wasn't too bad. Probably spent 20 minutes doing it, maybe 25 because all the mishaps with the camera. But there you go. I'd like to subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that. Want to tell your friends about us, tell them about us. cattlescalerepair.com is our website, but these scales can be used on other animals, you know, of course, goat, sheep, whatever you want to weigh. All right, well, until next time, see you later on. Have a good rest of your day.